Hi, everyone. Mary Esther Miranda Gilbert here, back again with the new year. How many of you have already started planning your new year and making exciting plans for business or personal life and just making some New Year's resolutions? I think everyone out there is probably really tired of hearing that, right? I think it's inadequate or unrealistic sometimes to just say, okay, now December 31st at midnight, starting January 1st, the next year, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my habits. I'm going to implement a new plan or implement an old plan that I've been procrastinating about. So there's so many things that are going through people's minds when the new year comes, right? And the anticipation and excitement of really doing it this time or just achieving your goals. But a lot of times I found that when the nervous system has been nutritionally deprived and the hormonal system, all the things that work together in the body to help people make better choices and better decisions and have the energy, the mental energy, not just the physical energy, and the wellness too. So it all ties into just how much energy you have in order to just go forth and achieve your goals. And we have to realize that we can't get instant results. Goals are met gradually and slowly, and they happen over time. So if you were to write down your goals one year and look back at it a year later, you can see whether you have made any progress or not. Um, so a lot of times I've seen that if people aren't nourished, then they're not going to achieve what they want to achieve because they just don't have the mental and physical energy. Okay, and that ties into the emotional stressors in our lives and the physical challenges that someone might have. So the first task is to just gradually build your health and improve it so that you can function at your optimal level, body, mind, and soul. So today I'm going to just dabble a little bit in my nutritional synergy system. I'll bring it up from time to time. It's from the book that I wrote, Nutritional Synergy. And I also have a course, an online course that goes with the book. So sometimes people have bought the course and not the book, or bought the book and not the course. But those who buy both, I think they'll have a much greater advantage because you fill in the gaps where, I might have not been as up to date, on some things that I had written in the book a couple of years ago. So the online course really helps fill in and get people even more up to date on the science behind what it takes to get very, very healthy and truly master your health. So here I am tonight representing my True Health Mastery Institute of Holistic Personal Health Management. So I've been helping people for almost a year now, to helping them improve their knowledge, really build the right knowledge, evidence, scientific based knowledge that ties in with ancient healing, processes that other indigenous healers from all over the world have implemented, tried and true over time. And that happens to match the scientific research. There's so much scientific research out there on all of the botanicals that I've been researching and writing about. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you right now so you can see the uh, the section of my book, but I wanted to show you the flyer. So unfortunately, I failed to type in the time, as you can see on this flyer. I went ahead and just sent out a subsequent flyer to the members and other people on my mailing list, and I stated what time I was going to be here. So that might explain why it's just me, myself, and I tonight, but that's okay. So the show must go on no matter what, right? So yeah, it's always at 5 o'clock Pacific time, Pacific Daylight Time, that is, and that means 6 p.m. Mountain Time and 7 p.m. Excuse me, the time that I'm conducting these presentations are at 7 my time, 7 mountain time. So, I try as I might to get all these different time zones straight. I'm sure a lot of other people get them confused as well. I hear that all the time. But right now it is 7:09 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which means it's 6 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's usually the time during the daylight hours, the Pacific Daylight Time hours where I conducted. But when we switch back over, in the fall, then it goes back 1 hour. So anyhow, I try to accommodate everyone in their time zones because Arizona's time zone never changes. So that gets confusing for other people. So it's best not to mention my Arizona time zone because that throws everybody off because they all follow everyone else's change in time zones. Okay, having said all that, getting that out of the way, so this week's topic, I'm going to talk about how to make fast, ultra nutrient rich meals. And so the more nutrient density you can put in your meals, even your snacks, to be conscious of which foods contain the most possible nutrients, and not necessarily always the least amount of calories, although that is important for weight loss, weight management, right? And but if you exercise and you're vigorously exercising all the time and you're very, very physically active, then you're going to need a few more calories, right? A few more of the different food groups that are in my nutritional synergy system. So I'm going to go over, it's usually something that I don't share because it's part of my nutritional synergy system and my nutritional synergy course. But I find that if I just demonstrate a few choices from my system and put together a few meals, then that generates a lot of excitement out there for people. So yeah, keep in mind, this is from my book, Nutritional Synergy. It's a system that I created many, many decades ago. I've been doing this for 47 years now. And so, just teaching people and researching, constantly researching and learning more and more about how the human body works and how it utilizes the wonderful nutrients that are in our organically grown, sustainably grown food, permaculture grown food, all of those very, very healthy environments that make your foods that much more nutrient dense. It's important to fully saturate the body with a high nutrient density because we've got 37 trillion cells in our body, in every single body system, always communicating, always growing, always, just turning over into new cells and sloughing off and getting rid of toxins that we accumulate in our lives. They're everywhere, right? And also to get rid of old cellular debris. So it's a constant detoxification, gradual, health building process if someone is sick. So anyhow, to maintain your health, you still have to eat right, you still have to exercise and make sure you're drinking plenty of purified spring water, not distilled, not tap water. All those things have to come together in order to have absolutely no health and to truly feel fantastic. I want everyone to feel like me. I've applied everything that I've ever learned to my own health. And at 71 years young, I feel fantastic. I want everyone else out there to feel fantastic too. There's no reason for anyone out there to be sick and to be tired, fatigued, and in the disease process. So let's get you out of the disease process. Let's get your bodies nourished. That's really the fundamental thing your cells are screaming for, desperately searching for, because in our DNA, we already have the instructions to repair ourselves, to heal ourselves, to restore ourselves back to optimal health. Okay. And sometimes it'll take a little longer depending on how long a person's health has been degenerating. But, it's important to continue and not let up, continue to nourish the body and just feel fantastic and never be sick, never be tired. Sure, after a good workout and after a hard day's work, whether it's brain work or physical work, you're going to feel sleepy and a bit fatigued, but that's a good kind of fatigue, right? Not the kind of fatigue that is so devastating that it's even a monumental task just to get up and do something in your own home, right? So, yeah, everything falls into place when you put all those different pieces of the puzzle together. And that is just how you manage your system, your body. That's exactly what you have to do. Everything else is just a supplement. Everything else is just on the side. Everything else is just fine. And the energy work that's coming around, more and more technologies are being revealed to us about the energetic frequencies that we exist. Now, when you're eating healthy foods and you're doing all the right things that I've been teaching on this channel for a long time, just watch all those other videos. You'll be so ready to improve your health. You'll be so knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than a lot of other health advisors or nutritional advisors too out there, because they haven't done the science, the scientific research, and seen the results. So I used to compile nutritional healing protocols for my clients all the time. And so they got well one by one by one on one. And I kept thinking, I need to take this success that we're having here out to more people. So if you like what you have heard so far, please hit the like button. That uh, causes this video to be appear in front of more people out there on YouTube, right? And if you can share it on your Facebook or wherever social media you're on, then that gets the word out too. Now we're talking about restoring the health of humanity, of getting people optimally healthy so that we can think better, make better decisions, we have more energy, we can be more creative and innovative. We need that so much in our population. We need to take that back. We need to take charge of our health, take charge of our health freedom and our lives. And this is the only way to do it at the microcell level, where the energetic frequencies are pulsing and active and interacting and communicating. All of our 37 trillion cells must communicate with each other from every single body system in order for us to be an organized system, an ecologically balanced, biochemically balanced system. So this is what my nutritional synergy system is all about. It's about restoring that fundamental energetic frequency that's in the body. So all these other healing technologies, they're wonderful too, because they help put the body in a higher vibrational frequency as well. But we still need to exercise our intestines. We still need to stimulate the cells to continue to produce youthfully, to not age rapidly, right? So the whole idea of being alive is to be happy and healthy and productive and have meaningful, satisfying lives. And that's very difficult to do if you're tired and unhealthy. I have seen all manner of ailments reverse. I have seen all manner of ailments just the body just uses the nutrition and just uses it to repair itself, to repair segments of our DNA that might have been disrupted or damaged. And also the body knows to use nutrients in whole foods, not isolated nutrients, by the way. I never advocate that because they just don't work. You've got to have the whole synergistic types of nutrients that are functioning in a food in order to transfer as much information as possible into our own cells. All right, so let me go ahead and show you just a few really exciting ways to put together some fast meals. I don't have time to cook. Isn't that ironic? A nutritional healing specialist who doesn't have time to cook. That's okay. Raw foods are better. Okay, I eat a lot of vegetable and leafy green and herb salads, and I cook, large amounts of the animal-derived proteins. Those are so important. So I always have plenty of animal-derived protein. So I cook a lot ahead of time, and I eat off of that all week. That's how busy I am. As much as I'd love the variety, but still, the idea is to nourish, nourish, nourish. Okay, so when you have a lot of the plant kingdom in your diet in a day, and you have plenty of protein to rebuild those tissues in your body, and also the right types of fats. People eat the wrong types of fats, and they're sick. And it's the fried oils are the worst. They're the culprits for most of the health issues I've seen over the decades. Okay, so now I just wanted to show you a photograph that I took of my meal that I had yesterday, actually. So these are organic chicken sausages that I found at Costco, and they're larger size because the smaller ones just don't do it. I'm physically active. I work out 4 times a week, and so I need more protein to keep regenerating and producing new cells that act younger than someone who's sick or someone who's out of shape. Okay, so some exercise is extremely important, even if you're in a wheelchair. Okay, moving around and increasing your circulation to distribute nutrients is so important for clearing out the toxins and to leave room in the body for doing its work, what it's meant to do, to heal you, to regenerate you, do the repair work, that kind of thing. Okay, so there's the protein. And also next to it, I happened to hard boil some eggs the night before, which I don't do very often. I usually like to cook my eggs in butter, over easy, sometimes scrambled, usually over easy, because when you leave the yolk liquid, then that is the best thing. It contains so many minerals in it and also the right types of fatty acids that your nerves, all of your structures in your microcells, these 37 trillion cells, need. The nervous system is also nourished and protected with the right fatty acid coating on every single nerve cell. When that fatty acid coating gets damaged, then your nerves become degenerated and all kinds of communication problems occur. So, you're talking about dementia, memory problems, learning problems, all kinds of things, right? So we need to nourish our cells as well with the fats. So eggs are a very, very perfect food. That's what they're called. It's called the perfect food. It's the right balance of protein and the most absorbable, usable kind of protein. So cook eggs at a low temperature and use butter, real butter, not margarine. You're going to just stop up your circulatory system and create plaques in the blood vessels. So you don't want to use margarine or any kind of hydrogenated trans fat. You want real butter, organic, better than ever, because you don't want the pesticides in there from the feeds they give these poor animals, or you don't want the hormone drugs also that affect our health. So there's a lot of things that you want to avoid, right? Avoid as many of the environmental toxins, synthetic ingredients in personal care products. You want to get them out of your system. We absorb them and they disrupt all of our systems. Okay. And there's so much research that I've written about that shows that these synthetics are linked to various diseases. Okay, so watch my other videos so that you can understand to what extent we have been exposed to these toxins for generations. Okay, so the as long as I've been doing this work, I've seen how there's been a growing awareness of these synthetics and toxins, pollutants that people no longer want in their bodies because they've seen the aftermath of the progressive health problems of each generation. So I've been around long enough to see, a couple of generations or two or three and see the health degenerate in our youth, in our young, in our children, in our infants. Okay, so we need to reverse that right now. Just do not go out and clean out all of your cabinets and just replace them all with organic, biodegradable cleansers. And you can even make your own. I make mine with distilled vinegar and hydrogen peroxide and various essential oils, depending on what surface I'm going to be disinfecting. Okay, so anyway, that's another video altogether. But anyhow, this is a picture of my breakfast. Now, I do have a multi-green salad. I'm going to enlarge this a little so you can see it better. My daughter gave me that mug, the plant lady. Very fitting name for me. And also, here it is, all organic. There's not one non-organic item in there. And it's not that expensive, folks. You're worth it. Your health is worth it to pay an extra dollar or two for a few items. And if you shop wisely, you can find the best bargains. I shop at 3 different stores just so I can get the best prices on all my organic things. And yeah, I'm busy and I make the time somewhere, somehow. I make the time to do this because I don't want my health to surprise me one day with some kind of diseased condition. Okay, I'm trying to prevent that. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in and just being debilitated, right? Mentally, physically. So it's possible to rebuild your health no matter what level you're at right now, to restore your body to the most optimal health it can possibly do, right? And that is quite a bit. You'd be surprised. All right, so in the greens, though, I buy the multi mixed greens. They're very convenient. I used to buy each green individually and wash them. And oh my goodness, I don't have time for that anymore. If you have the time to do that, more power to you. But I buy the already washed and mixed organic greens. And so there's so many different things to choose from too. The grocery store that I go to, you've got a box of this kind of green and a box of that kind of greens. I like to mix and match them. So it's really fun. I make my own dressings too because it's actually, less expensive and they taste so much better. There's so many great recipes out there for making your own salad dressings, and it's not, the organic salad dressings are so expensive. And I just got tired of it. I thought, okay, it's gone, in just a few days. Whereas when I make my own, for instance, I like to mix non-fat plain organic yogurt, live cultured yogurt with goat cheese. Okay, and I also like to throw in a little bit of olive oil in there, and I also throw in ripe avocado if I have it on hand, and lemon juice, or some kind of vinegar. Don't use distilled vinegar. That's not food. To me, that's like a cheap cleanser, a disinfectant kind of vinegar. It's not food. It's not good for you for so many reasons. But the other, like oh gosh, the balsamic vinegar, the wine vinegars, and most of all, the best vinegar for you is the raw organic apple cider vinegar. And so that's almost a live food, and it just has so many health benefits. So anyhow, there's so many variations. You don't even have to use salad dressing at all. I've been enjoying just fresh squeezed lemon and lime juice on my salads. If I want a high fat meal, high fat breakfast, which it doesn't happen very often, I try to stay away from too many fats. Fats are extremely important. I don't ever cut them out. Don't ever cut out fats. Your nervous system needs those kinds of fatty acids. Your hormones need those kinds of fatty acids. So, I mean, when you look at this, it doesn't seem like, too big deal, right? Too much of a big deal of a meal. But this multigrain bagel, completely organic, I just doused it with organic butter, and it's so tasty, right? Who doesn't like butter? And so I chose to put butter on my bagel because I didn't have butter on over easy eggs like I normally do. I just thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and chop up these two eggs and you know, have them for extra protein and extra health protective nutrients. So anyway, that's using my system. Now I'm going to show you my system really quickly. I'm going to open up my book here and go to the chapter. So in my book, I explain in detail how to use my system and educate the reader as far as why it's so important to choose organic foods and why it's so important to use my system. It's the most thorough system I've ever seen. I used to look at all the different diets out there, all the different food choice systems to help my clients way back when I first started my practice, and I realized that they were all inadequate, that they didn't separate out the plant kingdom enough. If they tell you to eat your vegetables, people will eat, green beans and think they've had something that's equal to a leafy green, or something like that. So every single plant, even green beans and all these different types of plant foods, they have their individual and very unique set of very health benefiting nutrient compounds in them. Yes, they're full of vitamins and minerals, and if you eat them raw, then you have the enzymes that help be the catalyst for every single biochemical cellular system that your body performs. But you have to just eat a variety of different foods. All right. So anyway, this it'll give you a complete background, and if you read it thoroughly and you apply it, then you will have the knowledge that is higher than many medical people out there who have been trained in a different way, you know, and other types of health advisors, to put it lightly. I'm not going to, step on anyone's toes, but if you're not focusing, if you're a practitioner out there, if you're not focusing on nourishing your patients or clients, then this is something that would be good for you to know as well, because this restores the body back to normal for any kind of, malfunction at the cell level. So we have an inner ecosystem in here. It's an ecosystem, and it has to be in concert or in tune or in resonance with the earth. We are part of nature. We are part of the earth. We're not separate. We have to tune into those types of energies. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you a little bit about this chapter, but I wanted to take you. Here's another example. I use my system. You'll see my system all in a chart form, so you'll understand what these different categories are. But here's another meal that one can put together. So we've got, if you're a person who's exercising, this is quite a bit of meat, isn't it? Not for some senior who can't exercise as vigorously as, a 20, 30, 40-year-old who's in very, very good shape, or a 70-year-old, who's been working out for years. I might after a particularly hard weekend of exercise and outdoors, activities, then I might be able to polish off, these two huge pieces of chicken. But mostly, people want to use one. But I just wanted to show you that it's actually low in fat, and fat has a lot of calories, but it has to, your diet has to have a certain amount of fats. So I would hope that a person would put like olive oil and vinegar dressing on this just to get those fatty acids, those healthy fats in the body, or maybe on this brown rice. Notice it's not white rice. You don't want any refined grains or flours or sugars in your diet because they deprive your body of many nutrients that it needs to perpetuate your aliveness. So this is, brown rice. People love to put butter or gravy, with animal drippings. That's perfectly fine too. We have been eating animal fats for thousands of years. Why the sudden switch, back in the 60s, where people were told that animal fats were bad? That's coincidental with the margarine industry. So they were trying to sell you their margarine. There's solidified plant oils that are so bad for you. They are dangerous because they solidify in your blood vessels. They create the plaques. People have always, or medical, I guess, industrial complex has blamed these plaques on cholesterol. Your body makes cholesterol. It's the structure in every single one of our trillions of cells. It's what holds our structures of our cells up, to house all of the other activity that goes on in every one of our cells. So animal fats are not bad. You just have to keep them in balance because they're very high in calories. And yeah, people can gain weight on them. But if you're eating like this, if you have many greens and other types of plant foods, you can even put fruit in here. Sometimes I love to add strawberries or even pears in my salad, or nuts or seeds. So you want to make sure you're eating everything that is freshly harvested and unprocessed. Raw nuts and seeds are the best. Once they heat them to preserve them and package them, then they've lost half of their nourishing and healing value. So you want live enzyme active, energy frequency active foods. So the more raw foods you have in your diet, the better. But that doesn't mean that you have that you should leave out the animal fats and animal tissues. So in this case, it's chicken. Also, the fact that this meal does not have skin on it, right? It's been deskinned, and obviously the breast is a lot leaner than the thigh or the leg or the wings, right? But chicken is a very, very healthy animal to consume, as long as they're humanely, ended. I'm so grateful for the animal world that we need for our health. And I've proven this, I've supported this, I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face to so many people over the years in defense of not being a total vegetarian. Because the vegetarians that I would see in my office when I had my practice for 30 years, they would come in with certain health issues. So once I got them, started on eating meats, again, then their health improved, their immune system improved, their strength and their energy improved, skin issues, all kinds of things, hormonal issues, all kinds of things. So we need the animal kingdom, sorry to say. So I'm very, very grateful for the animal kingdom, and organic is the best way to be as humane as possible so that we can, continue to live very healthful lives and with strength and endurance because of the animal kingdom. So thank you to the animal kingdom, and I thank God for it. That's I didn't create us. It's just the factual evidence. Okay, all right. So going on. So we have the various categories. I mean, my category system, my nutritional synergy system has 14 categories, and that includes supplements. So I teach all about the right supplements too. There are so many bad, incomplete, incorrectly formulated supplements out there, and people aren't getting the results they need. So I have been just searching the best supplements that I can find over these years, and every time I found a better formulation, I would have people just look at the one that I was offering. So the industry has matured and developed, and I'm proud of that. The nutritional supplements industry, they've really come a long way. But there's always others that just want to make a buck. They want to capitalize on people's ignorance, innocence, indifference. So it's important to know about the the supplements, and you end up taking a lot less supplements and spending a lot less money on your supplements anyway. So yeah, there's another tangent I can go off on, and I have covered it on other videos, but just really quickly, I can't help it. I've got to tell you about this. Um, so sometimes you get an infomercial, right? And someone is pushing a product. They make it sound wonderful. They have all these testimonials. They show you some type of pseudoscience that looks convincing. I teach people how to tell the difference, by the way, the right science, how to research for the right information, and how to recognize the propaganda that's out there, the misinformation, disinformation, that kind of thing. So, so it's important to learn that too. And I have it all on this channel. On this channel, I've put videos up for, I don't know, I've been on YouTube for about 4 years now, I think. And there's just so much information that's just a gold mine of life-saving information about how to truly nourish your body correctly and how to avoid so many synthetics and toxins and pollutants. Okay, so you'll learn it all here on this channel. Okay, so anyhow, notice these numbers for all these different types of foods that I listed from my nutritional synergy system, and I'll go over the numbers right now with you. All right, let's just go ahead and go to it. So before I show you the chart, this is another way of looking at a glance at my system. You've got all these different categories, right? And these are the division lines, the percentages of how much of each food category a person should have in their daily diet. So as you can see, 25% of this section here is the complex carbohydrates, the starches, okay, like the beans, the legumes, the tubers, the root vegetables, the whole grains. All of those are considered starches or complex carbohydrates because of their molecular structures. They're not simple sugars that can be broken down very quickly. So these are great sustained relief types of foods. And also, you uh, you want to include the simple sugars as well. So when you look at half the pie on the left side here, you'll see that I include the fruits and the berries. And so they contain their own unique kinds of contributing nutrients for optimal health. And notice how here I divided the types of fats, animal fats and plant fats. That includes raw nuts and seeds. Always refrigerate your raw nuts and seeds and your whole grains because they contain the types of fats that are so reactive to oxygen that they become very toxic in a short period of time, surprisingly short. If they start tasting off, then don't eat them. They are so almost dangerous, I have to say, in your circulatory system. So instead of helping to rebuild your cells properly, they start destroying, and those are called free radicals. Anything that destroys your body's cells are called free radicals. That includes the rancid fats, right? Refined sugars, refined grains, all those things that have been super processed and so much sugar added to them, then those are not nourishment. They just infuse the blood with too much sugar. The body goes into a panic and tries to take all of that sugar out of the bloodstream as fast as possible. So that's linked to the forming of diabetes type 2, so you have to watch your refined sugars and keep your blood sugar balanced by including the animal-derived proteins. That's so important, especially for people who have a tendency to have high blood sugar. All right, so on the other side here, you've got all of the medicinal types of foods, the culinary herbs and spices. So any herb that you cook with, any herb you might grow in your garden or just, grow on your windowsill. It's parsley, the onion family and garlic and oregano and thyme, rosemary, I said parsley already, right? Dill, kind of thing. All these types of herbs are so concentrated with healing, detoxifying, regenerative, protective kinds of phytochemical complexes in these plants. All right, so now medicinal herbs and nutraceuticals, that's a different category. You would need a consultation from me or someone who has been doing this kind of work. I can't find very many people out there who have this level of knowledge because they haven't done the research for 47 years and formulated nutritional protocols that have been, clients or their patients have been successful with. So that's a unique position that I'm in. Somehow I just arrived at that kind of knowledge and that kind of experience in seeing how the science matches people's health results. Okay, so that requires a specific kind of knowledge and skill. So if you're a member of my institute, then you have access to me for consultations. Okay, so that's one category that is specific and different. What food category in the world has that, right? So anyhow, sometimes people need an extra little bit of help in getting improving their health. Dark leafy greens, oh my goodness, this is another medicinal category, but they're delicious. They're so good for you, and they taste great with all these different types of salad dressings. And if you're used to the bitterness of some of these greens, then all you need is a little lemon juice or a little vinegar, and you're good to go. But these foods are extremely regenerative. Cruciferous vegetables, another. So there's so much research on all of these foods, and cruciferous, which means the broccoli, the cauliflower, and the Brussels sprouts. Those are the brassica vegetables and cruciferous vegetables. So they are very medicinal as well. They have so many complexes in their fluids, in their biochemical makeup that have been shown to reduce the risk of cancers and all kinds of other health problems. All right, so now this little section down here is the animal-derived complete proteins. So in other words, a complete protein contains all 9 essential amino acids. So the plant kingdom, it's rare that a plant has all the 9 essential amino acids. Essential meaning our bodies cannot manufacture them, so we need them from our diet, and we need them all in one place at one time, so that our bodies can perpetuate our aliveness. If an amino acid is missing, like if you eat a plant food that has some amino acids and is missing a couple, then there's a biochemical process that your body's trying a task it's trying to perform to maintain your aliveness and your wellness that it won't be able to complete. Things can come to a grinding halt if it's missing one of those essential amino acids. That's why animal-derived proteins are so crucial, especially in the healing regenerative health process. Okay, so that's another way of looking at my system. Now, this is the best way to look at my system. And so you can put together the most nutritious foods in the world in one simple meal. You don't have to pick from every single category every time you eat a meal, but the more categories you can fit in any meal, the better, right? Okay, so in a nutshell, as you can see here, the things to avoid, these categories. Only eat organic foods. Otherwise, you're going to have an accumulation of pesticides that are going to affect your hormones, how your body functions, how it regulates all your processes, and it's going to affect your nervous system. It's going to affect your ability to your reproductive system, and your immune system. So these 3 systems in the body always work together. And if you accumulate too many of these pesticides that they spray the non-organic foods with, you're going to have issues in these systems. All right, so the science proves it, and I've seen it with my own eyes in just helping people eliminate all kinds of things that were causing health problems, the toxins. Okay, so this is all scientifically backed. I backed everything I do and say by the peer-reviewed scientific research from around the world. Over time, you have databases full of scientific research that prove everything that I'm saying here tonight. Okay, and I always back up everything I say in my books as well. So you've got a huge section of scientific reference citations in every single one of my books and every single one of my presentations, my educational presentations. And so, yeah, if you are a member of the True Health Mastery Institute, then you have access to those documents where you can further explore all of those scientific references that I use in my presentations and in my books. Okay. All right. So, here it is. Eat organic, eat raw, fresh produce. There is that raw again. If you saute your vegetables or your greens or something, you're going to lose half of their healing value, if not more, because you're literally turning off the energy, light energy frequencies that living cells have. And that kind of energy transfer is very, very important to keeping alive. Okay, so if you cook your vegetables all the time, you're going to be suffering in many different ways. There'll still be, some health issues there. So just start eating more raw foods. It's fun to eat soups and stews, but do not heat anything in oils, plant oils, because they turn into a trans fat. All right, avoid refined carbohydrates, avoid those hydrogenated fats, avoid heating your oils, avoid genetically modified organisms or GMOs, avoid pesticides and other toxic synthetic chemicals. And that gives you a huge array of consumer products, right? Your household cleaners, even maybe chemicals that you're exposed to in the workplace or whatever. They're everywhere, in the air, in the water. We have to start cleaning up this planet by first making the choices that don't support companies who insist on making these toxins and making us sick. Okay, there's a whole industrial complex that benefits, right? Profits greatly from keeping people sick. All right, so that's not something new. That's something that's circulating out on the internet. That's something circulating among millions of people. Most people know about that, right? But if you're still not aware of it, try to avoid these things and you'll see how your health starts improving. Okay, it takes the body a while. You're not going to see overnight results. You're not going to see necessarily, immediate results. But cell turnover rate in the body varies depending on which body system, anywhere from a week or two to, several months. So it depends on which body system we're talking about. But eventually, your body's hierarchy of needs, protecting the heart, protecting the kidneys and the liver and the brain, the nervous system, those are the ones that are nourished first. So if you have health issues in any other system in the body, that's going to your body will get around to it if you're consistent with providing it with nutrient density from my nutritional synergy system. Okay, so here are the different categories. Notice I have water. Without water, we could not function. We are 70 or more percent water. We need to keep that water circulating and cleansing and detoxifying throughout our system. Every other beverage, even herb tea, is not as cleansing as water. Herb tea is great; it has its position, has its place, but you need water. Okay, so drink water constantly all day long. Don't drown yourself. Don't overbloat yourself with too much water. But whenever you start to feel like your mouth is dry or you feel tired, maybe you're getting a headache, water's the first thing you need, and it usually takes care of a lot of different things. Okay, so detoxifying too. All right, so this little corner of the chart is extremely important. It's a reminder of what to do and what not to do, right? So water, as you can see, now these are the nutrients. The rest of the columns in green up here, you'll see the different types of nutrients that every category of food or supplements have in my system. So water, as you can see, moving across the chart here, you see the two blue dots. It can contain vitamins and minerals. It can also contain phytochemical compounds because water filters through the earth and it picks up these nutrients. So water can be extremely nourishing, okay? But most of all, hydrating. All right, so now meats, poultry, eggs, and Arctic fish. Notice I say Arctic fish, not any kind of other fish, because all the other fish on this planet are full of the pollutants. They end up in the ocean. The toxic metals, the toxic elements, mercury, cadmium, aluminum, all of these extremely toxic pollutants that end up in our water sources. So only stick to the Arctic fish. They're the least polluted and they contain the most nutrients in them. So Alaska, okay, that's pretty much it, or in other areas of the world that's in the higher areas of the planet, right? The very top part of the planet. Okay, so meats, poultry, and eggs, try to buy organic because you don't want those hormones that they pump these poor animals with and the genetically modified feeds. I mean, if you're not buying organic, you're going to have toxic food, okay? And it's not going to get you well as quickly. Your body will try to get rid of the toxins while it's using the nourishment, but animals that have been fed pasture raised and treated organically are going to be much, much, much higher in nutrients, save you thousands of dollars in medical bills. Okay, so those few extra dollars you spend on your organic foods are going to just give you so many rewards that you would not even believe. Okay, if you're more productive because you're well, then you're more capable or able, to find ways of bringing in income that you enjoy, maybe work that you would enjoy. Uh, so yeah, it takes a lot of energy and knowledge to do that, to pursue it, but you'll have the energy and the brain power and the desire to do it. So uh, that's why I advocate only organic foods. Okay, now this category 2, the animal kingdom, it contains all of the essential amino acids that I mentioned earlier that we can't produce ourselves. We can produce the other 11 or 12, depending on which amino acids your body can make, because infants can't make the arginine. So it's either 8 or 9 essential amino acids. As adults, we can make it, so we need the other 8. All right, in a nutshell. I'm summarizing my system very, very fast. I'm giving you a crash course on saving your health, saving your life, because you don't want to die of a heart attack or cancer or any of those other degenerative, nutrient deficient problems. Okay. Again, I'm quoting the absolute scientific research. Now, also the meat category or the fish category, the protein category. So they also contain animal-derived fats. Fish have their own types of fats, and the meats and poultry and eggs have their own types of fats, but they're all animal-derived fats, and they contain the nutrients that your brain and your nervous system and your hormones need, your cell structures need. Okay, so and also, these foods contain vitamins and minerals because they consume nutrient-dense foods. Whether it's their feed or if they're pasture, if they're grazing on nutrient-dense pasture environment. All right, so the root vegetables. Notice how you begin filling in a little more of the categories of nourishment. So all of these root vegetables, beans, legumes, whole grains, those are the complex carbohydrates, right? And so they contain these some amino acids, but they're incomplete. They don't have all 8 or 9 essential amino acids. So people who are vegetarian have a real problem finding different kinds of plant materials that contain the different amino acids and try to combine them, and they end up eating too many carbohydrates and a lot of fiber, which can be upsetting to the digestive tract. And so just consider them as starches and long and sustained types of fuel, and that helps nourish the brain and your muscles and all of the cellular work that requires the sugars to do their work. So we need the complex carbohydrates. Some people like to just eat no carbs at all. That puts them in ketosis, so the body has to break down its own tissues or maybe some of the body fat to turn it into a carbohydrate to actually nourish and fuel all of the cells. So that's a long way to go around to give your body the energy that it needs. So like I said, no refined sugars, just whole foods, right? In this category. So they're also, some of them can contain the wonderful essential fatty acids, the plant-derived fats. And if they're organically grown, they're going to have plenty of vitamins and minerals and lots of these phytochemical nutrients. Now, I've covered phytochemical nutrients in my books and on this channel. So these are the saving grace of the plant kingdom. Yes, vitamins and minerals are very, very important for our health, but these phytochemical compounds, these thousands and thousands of different compounds in a huge array in the plant kingdom, science have studied extensively for their health recovering and health protective value. All right, so raw nuts and seeds, you'll see that pretty much they're the plant oils, right? So the plant fats, and they have the vitamins and minerals and the phytonutrients as well. Butter, cheese, and meat, they're food, animal-derived fats, of course, and they're going to have some vitamins and minerals as well. The herbs, okay, they have plenty of vitamins and minerals and phytonutrient compounds, the healing herbs. Leafy greens, same thing. These are our healing categories of foods. I'm going to highlight these so you can see which ones I'm talking about here. So these three categories are extremely healing and detoxifying and cleansing, health regenerative, but they need the amino acids to help work. If you're missing any one of these categories, there's going to be a deficiency, and you're going to notice symptoms appear down the line when your body starts running out of its own resources in order to complete important tasks. So you need these different types of nutrients so that it doesn't run in a deficit. Okay. All right. So now are the spices another healing category? Plenty of these like vitamins and minerals and the phytonutrient compounds in them. So notice how they don't have any, except for the fruits, and some vegetables, they don't have carbohydrates. They don't have proteins. They have some amino acids, but not enough, and very poor amounts. And so, they have a lot of the heavy, the heavy guns, I call them, the nutrient dense part of our foods, which are the phytonutrients. I really dwell on these phytochemical compounds in all of our plant foods. They are saving people's health, along with the other nutrients, of course. But the phytonutrients, they have a special category. Okay, dairy products too. If you can handle dairy, if you're eating raw foods, you'll be able to handle dairy so much better because you have the enzymes that are necessary to break down these processed dairy products, right? Unless you're eating raw, non-fat, organic yogurt with the live cultures. If you can find any other beverage with live cultured yogurts and no sugars in them, you can always add your own natural sugars. I have a whole video on the benefits of natural sugars like raw organic honey, and just different types of the less refined sugars. So I cover those in another video. Please find it if you're interested in just sweetening your yogurt. Okay. All right, so other beverages, herb tea and plant milks. So they're not complete proteins, obviously, because they're not animal milks. And herb teas can be extremely beneficial. I put together a multi-medicinal herb tea, and it's very saturated in nutrients. So I make a strong pot of it, and I just dilute it with a regular cup of tea. And so I'm getting other kinds of phytonutrients all the time. So herb teas are fantastic. All right. Plant milks, they're a good milk substitute for taste and fulfilling the liquid part of your diet. If you want cereal with milk and you don't want to use the dairy, you can use a plant milk. If you want to bake something, you don't have to necessarily use a dairy milk. You can use a plant milk. They substitute quite fine. So anyhow, they have different types of nutrients as well, as you can see. So they have some carbohydrates, some of them like the rice milk. Almond milk does not have carbs unless the company adds sugar in the formulation. You have to read the label. But rice milk is a good carbohydrate. If you feel like you're making a smoothie and it's nothing but greens and fruits, and you feel like you want to add some kind of starch in there, you can add the rice milk in there. So there's so many different ways to use my system. It's so versatile. You can create so many wonderful, delicious, nutrient-dense meals that will fuel you throughout the day and then some. So yeah. So anyhow, these are the nutrients in these categories, as you can see, and nutritional supplements. All right. So nutritional supplements aren't always animal derived, but those that are, you usually have like the whey proteins or the collagens. They do contain the essential amino acids. And also an animal derived protein supplement will have some of the animal derived fats, possibly. Some of them do, some of them don't. Okay, so I did produce another video on whey protein and collagen protein. So that's a good one to watch if you are willing to, add animal type of supplements into your diet. So they can be very, very beneficial. All right, so now the last category, the 14th category, notice it has my website, and there are some very potent medicinals that are out there, that when combined, like the Chinese herbal formulations, those are extremely beneficial for if you have a certain ailment. And so this ancient medicine, this culture of ancient medicines is very, very impressive when it comes to restoring health. So sometimes we need to pull out the big guns, and just restore people's health a little more rapidly than a nutrient-dense diet would, right? Okay, and always check with your medical doctor. Do not ever substitute any kind of holistic modality, even my proven system. Just check with your doctor. Have them, if we're doing a consultation, feel free to have them talk to me. Usually I still do. If I do a consultation, I have people sign waivers and I have people understand that I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not prescribing, treating, or diagnosing. I'm just educating people as to how the human body uses nutrients and how extensive the nutritional research has been and is ongoing on the way the body uses these kinds of nutrients. So that requires a little bit of expertise, which I'm available for if you are a member. So, I mean, I used to have my practice, I would take in clients all the time, but I retired it 15 years ago to reach out to wider numbers of people because the one-on-ones were fantastic and people got well, but I feel that we need to let people know the right way to improve your health. There's only one way. Your body only needs the nutrients in order to restore and recover itself. It'll take a long time before you're able to recover from anything if you don't have the right nutrients in your body. These are the best way to restore your body to optimal health, normal functioning at the cell level. That's the most important thing. And again, I'm quoting the scientific research. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to sell you anything. All I know is that I've seen the results of my system, which is completely scientifically backed with plenty of scientific research that that I've always shown my clients and their medical doctors, if their medical doctors were open to understanding what their patient and I were doing. But yeah, there's I was always upfront and honest with the medical profession, and so I think it's a good partnership. Uh, Although they need to do something about the side effects of their medications, so that's another thing. You can always look up your medication side effects at Medline, the Medline Plus website, and just look up the drug and nutrient section and look up your drug. All the drugs that are ever prescribed are on that website. And you can look up your drug and you can see for yourself what the side effects are. So people would come in with all these different health ailments because of that were closely associated or linked to those side effects. And so all I did was help them nourish their body correctly, and their body did everything it needed to do. And their doctors would love it because, they said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing what you're doing. Some of them were pretty perplexed about it. I don't know what happened, but keep doing whatever you're doing. They were able to wean their patients off of their medications. Do not ever wean yourself off your own medication. That's dangerous. Always go through your medical profession, your medical physician. Okay, so this is my system. I wanted to share it finally with everyone out there. There's so much more to this book and so much more to my course. So I will show you on my website how you can go about uh, purchasing the book if you want to. But again, let me show you my YouTube channel. I mean, we're on my YouTube channel, right? But if you go to my YouTube channel at another time, go ahead and save it, and that way you can return to it. And if you like and subscribe to the channel, which is free, the YouTube channel is free. If you can subscribe to that, where am I going here? This is not the place I wanted to go. I wanted to go to my own YouTube channel right here. Okay, so I'm building subscribership slowly and gradually, but I think people are just forgetting to hit the like button and uh, they forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're going to get up on a YouTube channel, the way to help the channel grow, and I'm not monetized, so I'm not trying to do it for money. I want people to get these messages. I want them to get educated properly without all of the noisy propaganda that's surrounding everybody, circling people. So it's like sharks, waiting to pounce on you on your innocence or lack of information. So this will give you the right education that you need to save your own life, save your own health, right? Okay. All right. So that's don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to this free channel and share it if you can. If you know somebody who needs this information, it's our duty as fellow human beings to share this invaluable health data, health information. Okay. All right, so now if you go to my website, let me go here, holisticchoices.com. And if you click on the True Health Mastery Institute, I'll show you a couple of the links that have the most traffic because people want to get healthy. All right, so this will describe to you the membership benefits. $12.97 a month, you can't beat that. I grossly undercharge for this kind of life-saving information, but I want people to be able to afford it, and I want people to benefit from it, from these Friday night meetings that I hold. Okay, they're not mandatory. You don't have to attend the meeting to be a member, but it's always helpful because there's always questions that members have, concerns, and that I can help them with, or they can request a private consultation, which I'm very happy to help them with. All right, so yeah, this is just the perks and just describing what you get as a member. And here's a join button right here. It's very easy. Just go through the shopping cart system, the payment processing system, and for $12.97 a month, it's an automatic thing. You can stop at any time. You get a member area, a background member area, and there's an area there that you can cancel your membership at any time. I go month to month. I don't charge people 3, 6, 12 months at a time. So yeah, if you keep finding this information valuable that I present every week, then it's to your benefit. All right, so yeah, I just want to educate people and educate them with effective information and the true scientific information and the truth, you know. All right, so now the next thing I wanted to show you is the Nutritional Synergy System book that you can order. There's other books that I describe on my channel that I describe pretty thoroughly. There's descriptions and all kinds of things so that people can make the choice that they need to make on which book they want to buy. But here's my Nutritional Synergy book. And if you click on my channel here on my website, excuse me, not channel, but my website, then it'll take you to the Amazon site. And I do get a small commission, very small commission for the sales of my books. If you don't want the hard copy, then you can order the ebook version of it, which is through Kindle. And if you don't have a Kindle reader on your computer or your phone, it's a free download so that you can, and it's less expensive than the Nutritional Synergy book. So, if you want to invest in your health and in your health future, then the Nutritional Synergy System is something that should be in everyone's home bookshelf. Everyone should have this knowledge. Okay. So other books that I've written, if you're interested in learning more about the phytonutrient compounds in the plant kingdom, this is the first of other volumes I'll be writing, but this is a 530-page book containing 109 botanicals, and it has a built-in phytochemical database describing what foods contain which phytochemicals and what they do for the body. So the scientific monographs in my book are quite extensive because they're the result of much research. So I compiled them in bulleted points, so that it's a fast and easy read. But I also provide the scientific references at the back of the book, which numbers over 1,000 references back there. But it has a nutrition section that kind of reflects the nutritional synergy system, although my book Nutritional Synergy is much more thorough for you. So again, you can order from my website, click on it, and then or you can order the ebook. So this is the hard copy, and that's what the ebook looks like. All right, so those are the books that I have for you. Notice how I do make a video for some of the books so that you can understand what's really in the book. And right now I'm describing the Nutritional Synergy System to you, and that's pretty much what I say in this video introducing the book. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to show you here on the online course that I have so far is a spin-off of the Nutritional Synergy System, the book. And so you can look at the 15 modules and see what you're going to get for your money. So you get a certificate of completion at the end, which, it will allow you to turn around and show credibility for your knowledge, and you can share your knowledge and maybe even, start your own practice, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you can start small like I did many years ago and just grow it because people are desperate for this information. There will always be a market for this kind of information. So if you want to earn your certificate, then you can take my course. It's an online self-paced course. And it doesn't have any time limits, okay? Um, Sometimes they give owners of websites options as to how long they want to offer the course and how long a student has to complete the course. But I would hope that a person would want to complete the course as soon as possible so that they can gain that knowledge. That knowledge is so, so important. You can truly master your health by following all the videos on this channel. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, and tap that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I produce a new video, which is every Friday, basically. All right, so I'm thinking of turning this institute into a newsletter. So that's the next step in the evolution of this institute that's less than a year old. And so, yeah, the live Q&A sessions will be the sessions that I'm doing every Friday nights, like the one you're seeing now, will probably turn into Q&As. So in case anyone who is a subscriber of the newsletter would like to, talk to me in person and ask me questions in person. So I love to answer questions like that, but because it brings out, this buried knowledge that's in my brain that I've accumulated for so long. And I'm always I'm grateful for anyone who has any questions. That way I can teach them. I can share my knowledge. There's so much to share. All right, so I just showed you the tip of the iceberg of my nutritional synergy system tonight, and I hope you find it inspirational, and I hope you can put this book in your medical library at home, your nutritional health library at home. So yeah, just it's worth it. It's worth it to invest in your health the right way so you don't run into blind alleys all the time. People spend so much money on trying to get their health in order and to try to buy the right supplements. So many supplements are incomplete, incorrect, inaccurate, and just poorly formulated. So I teach about ingredients in supplements as well. And there's a video on this channel all about how to select the right supplements. And of course, I've written the book too. All right, so just peruse my website here and enjoy yourselves. All right, so I hope you join me next time, and I will be glad to welcome you into the Institute. Like I said, only $12.97 a month. But if you don't want to do that, just check out this YouTube channel and watch the videos, right? Those are free. So yeah, there's so much I have to offer everyone, and I hope that everyone will implement and benefit from the years of investigative research and education and knowledge and experience with real life clients with their real health stories. All right, so next time, I hope you come back next time. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.